They said I would never make it. They laughed when I walked the streets barefoot with a tray of oranges on my head. They mocked my clothes, my silence, my hunger. But what they didn't know was that the very road they watched me walk in shame would one day lead me straight into a boardroom with my name on the building. My name is Jennifer, and this is my story. Back then, I didn't have a name anyone remembered. People just called me the Orange Girl. I never corrected them. I didn't have the energy. When you're starving, you learn quickly what matters and what doesn't. I was only 12 when life showed me how brutal it could be. My father died suddenly from a heart attack one rainy night. He was the only one working, and his death shattered everything. My mother changed. She was there physically, but mentally, it was like she left with him. She stopped eating, stopped talking, and before I knew it, I was the adult in a family of 4. I dropped out of school because my siblings had to eat. I found a woman at the market who let me buy fruit on credit and started selling oranges by the roadside. Every morning, I woke before dawn, tied my hair with a fading scarf, washed my face with cold water, and stepped into the streets barefoot with my tray. That was my new reality. People didn't see a child with dreams. They saw a burden. Boys laughed. Men ignored. Women looked at me with a mix of pity and disgust. "Orange girl," they would yell. "Still carrying that tray? You better marry rich, oh." I smiled sometimes. Sometimes I didn't. But inside, something was growing. A seed. A fire. I didn't know what to call it yet, but it whispered to me every day, "Jennifer, don't let this be the end." Most days, I barely made enough to feed my siblings. I would give them food and lie to them that I already ate at the market. But God knows, I went to bed with hunger, scratching my stomach like a wild animal. Then one day, something happened. It was raining, the kind of rain that makes your feet sink into the ground. I stood by the roadside, soaked, holding my tray with shaking hands. I had only sold 2 oranges all day. I was cold, hungry, and tired. That's when a black car pulled up beside me. A woman stepped out, wearing a suit so sharp, the rain slid off it like it wasn't allowed to touch her. She walked straight up to me and asked, "How much for all of them?" I was shocked. "Ma? All your oranges. How much?" I stuttered. "Ma, 5,000. She opened her bag, brought out a crisp 5,000 naira note, and placed it in my hand. My mouth hung open. I had never held that much money at once. She smiled gently and said, "Next time I see you, I want to see you reading a book, not just carrying fruit." Then she walked back to her car and drove off. I stood in the rain, stunned. I didn't even move for almost 10 minutes. My chest felt tight, not from sadness, but from something I hadn't felt in a long time: hope. That woman, whoever she was, had seen something in me. She didn't call me Orange Girl. She didn't laugh. She didn't look down on me. She saw me. The next day, I didn't buy more oranges. I took 1,000 naira and went to a roadside bookshop. I bought a used copy of Think Big by Ben Carson and a plain notebook. That was the beginning. Every afternoon, in between selling oranges, I would sit under a tree near the junction and read. The words lit something up in me. I started writing in my notebook, my dreams, my thoughts, my plans. I will own a company one day. I will go back to school. I will help girls like me. I didn't know how, but I knew I would. Months passed. I saved as much as I could. I started waking earlier and walking longer routes with more foot traffic. I doubled my daily sales. I bought a second tray and asked a younger girl from my street to sell under me. I gave her a small commission. She was shocked, but grateful. Then tragedy struck again. My mother, my quiet, grieving mother, passed away in her sleep. I was 17. Her death felt like the end. For 2 weeks, I didn't sell anything. I sat in our small, leaking room and cried until I couldn't cry anymore. But one night, as I sat by her grave, I whispered, "Mama, I'll make you proud, even if I have to crawl." From that day, I worked like fire was in my bones. I expanded. I bought a wheelbarrow. I started supplying fruit to roadside sellers in small kiosks, then a school, then a local restaurant. Before long, people were calling me the fruit girl, not out of mockery, but respect. I returned to school part-time. I couldn't attend classes like everyone else, but I registered for external exams and studied on my own. I passed. Then I applied to a small polytechnic. That's where I got the idea for the juice business. I noticed how much fruit was wasted at the end of the day. Oranges, pineapples, mangoes, too ripe, thrown away. I thought, what if I turned that into fresh juice? It started in my kitchen. I borrowed a small blender from a neighbor, made a batch of orange juice, bottled it, took it to campus, sold out in 2 hours. That was the start of Jenny's Juice. I didn't have a logo. I didn't have a team. Just stickers printed at a cyber cafe and my story. But people bought it. They weren't just buying juice. They were buying me, my journey, my determination. My name started spreading. I found a mentorship through a free program. He helped me register the business officially. I applied for a grant, got rejected, applied again, got rejected. Third time, I got it. I used the funds to buy my first industrial juicer, then a small shop, then a delivery tricycle, then staff. From fruit seller to employer. One day, I was invited to speak at a local entrepreneurship summit. I walked in wearing a suit. As I climbed the stage, I saw someone sitting in the front row. My heart stopped. It was her, the woman from the rain. Tears filled my eyes as I told the audience the story I just told you. At the end, I said, "There was a woman who once bought all my oranges and told me to read a book instead. Ma, if you're here today, I just want to say thank you. You didn't just buy fruit. You bought my future." She came on stage and hugged me. Everyone stood. Some cried. Some clapped. Some just stared. That night, I went home and sat in silence. I thought about the little girl I used to be, the one walking barefoot, the one they laughed at. And I whispered, "Thank you, God, for not letting that be the end of my story." So, to whoever is listening to this now, if they're laughing at you, if life is mocking your effort, if it feels like nobody sees you, I want you to remember this. You are not what people call you. You are what you answer to. And if you don't give up, one day they'll call you CEO. Please, if this story touched you in any way, take a second to like this video. It helps more people hear this message. And if you believe in second chances, subscribe to my channel, because this is just the beginning.